searching the dark side of the mountain. Through my bones and hair and blood, words rise and cold snatched from my mouth to sink them into the cold black mud.
Now, if you don't want no bowel complaints in the morning, I suggest you stay away from the boomer meat, but everything else should be fine.
Thank you. I'll take it. I'll stay away from boomer meat. What is it?
It's like a really big rat if it had a child with like a red squirrel kind of deal.
It's a damn rodent is what she's trying
It's
to
a
say.
really big rodent.
But they're pretty good.
Oh, we have rodents in New York City too, but
they just don't agree
eat.
with city folk most of the first time or so.
And he's kind of staring off into the distance, looking for these other professors.
And you see the two of Tegan and Walter. You see the school teacher come up. I see you have met Mr. Hayes, the foreigner from New York City.
Yep, he is definitely interesting.
He has promised me that he is going to cut a rug with me in a little bit. Can you make sure he fulfills his promises? I do not want one of these sitter slickers coming in and lying to me.
Yes, ma'am, I can definitely
And she winks at you,
that.
Mr. Hayes.
It was.
Looks like she's got the hots for you.
He blushes. Well, dancing. I don't want to. I don't mean to disappoint, but dancing. I'll do my best.
Don't worry, we'll get him a little bit more soft, and I'm sure he'll be more than happy to do that dance for you.
What was the name of the school teacher again?
Miss Margaret.
Ms. Margaret. It's good to see you, Miss Margaret.
You too. And she puts her hand on your shoulder, and I'm sure one day that we'll find them.
I kind of, yeah, I appreciate it, Mark. It gets a little choked up there at the moment.
Well, I've got to get inside. I've got a bunch of children I got to chase off this thing before the drinking gets hard, and mostly before they find a way to do the hard drinking with.
I would check that alley and that one.
Yeah.
That's how I got around it.
Yeah, I know their ways. Have a good evening. I'll see you when you're saucy enough. And she heads.
Don't worry, we got it. No,
We'll send it your way.
And you see coming down the road 2 lights from an automobile, and you only know of one automobile in the entire town. That is Jennifer Love's car, and it is coming from the street that goes up the hill to the Love. It's called the Love Mansion. That is her home. It is not a love shack. It is much bigger than that.
I was trying so hard not to make the joke.
And it pulls over to the side, and her and her sister, who is the clerk of the town, get out of the car and come head on over. Well, I see we've got this party going already.
Yeah, let me get you two some drinks. Y'all should get started too.
Of course.
Go grab some drinks for them.
Ms. Foxtrot, I would love a drink. Matter of fact, I'll come with you if you don't mind.
I'm not minding at all.
And she puts her arm through your arm and walks with you. Let's head on in and get ourselves the biggest drinks that they got. We've already covered the cost, so we may as well take full advantage.
May I suggest TJ's then, as they have a mighty fine whiskey?
Oh, yeah. Of course. TJ just made a fortune off me tonight, and I expect to take full advantage of that fortune making.
Oh, I would. He got a huge shipment of Walter's mead in this morning too. So.
Oh hell, I ain't drinking no mead. I don't want no watery stuff. I'm gonna have stuff that will put me down into the grave almost.
You ask for the second cask of Walter stuff. That
Wait-
thing
wait
will
a
be
minute,
stronger
what?
than the whiskey.
Wait, are you kidding me?
I
They
ain't
can make
kidding.
mead like that?
Walter does.
I had no idea. I did not know mead could do that. I thought it was just like a beer or something.
Oh no, it
Sweeter,
can get
sweet beer.
stronger than some of the moonshine they've been sent out of the
Holy
woods.
cow! I've got to address my concerns about mead being for the weak.
Yeah, Walter will show you some mead that's stronger than anything.
Show me the way. Show me the way.
All right, head to TJ's.
And you go in. It is wall to wall. So it is hard to even wind your way through it, but you find your way. People will move for it.
I'm going to attempt to use the fact that I'm helping him out to just like whistle real loudly and like
Okay.
gesture.
Big whistle goes across, and everyone near you turns to you, and they part like the Red Sea, and give you a walkway to the bar. What can I do for you two, Miss Love? We all want to thank you, and everyone's like, yeah. A big cheer goes up. What is it we're getting there?
We will need 4 whiskeys and 4 of Walter's second cask made for Miss Love and Miss Love and the group to imbibe in.
Okay. And the bartender takes it out and pours it, and then pours a little more. You know what? And then changes glasses to something bigger and pours a lot more in. Who am I kidding? And just pours it big. Have a good night. I hope that you enjoy this. It is some strong stuff. You ought to thank Mr. Gwinnen for that. It is quite a masterwork of liquor.
Better
She
get
goes,
it while getting's good.
How did I not know about this? How have I come in here so many times and no one has told me? I will have words with TJ Booker at the end of the week about that. I'll leave him alone.
I'll hand her a whiskey and a mead. And like
Gee, did you get something for Mr. Gwinnen and your friend?
oh yeah, we
in the
got plenty
bow
going
tie?
on over there. The professor's already getting sauced.
Wait, an actual professor?
Yeah, him and the school teacher are gonna cut a shine later.
I am more interested in dance than I thought I would be coming in here. Let's get them some drinks too. Can I get 2 more of each of these? They come over with the big glasses, pour them out, and she grabs them up like a pro bartender, like slides them in her hands. Let's go. Let's get them fed and drunk. I don't know if they're gonna be any eating.
Oh, we gotta make sure the professor gets a mess because he's already a little woo.
The two of you
He ain't used to it.
The two of you see Miss Foxtrot and Miss Love go into the bar, and you're standing there, and you see all these people in the mask are starting to dance in the area around you, and there's the food cooking on one side, and everyone's starting to sing songs to the music and clap, and it starts turning into quite the romp.
I'd probably go over back toward wherever TJ's kind of sitting at, and just kind of hunker down back at the wall if I can make it.
He's not sitting down anywhere. He is walking around taking care of people and making sure that everything goes smooth. But you can find to be a wallflower is totally a possible thing to do here.
Yeah, that's probably where I'll be sitting at, or not sitting, but standing, because it's only standing room at this point. But maybe just shy of behind the bar, just kind of.
And what about
being
you,
a
Mr.
little bit
Hayes?
watchful and mostly just being a wallflower and people watching.
What about you, Mr. Hayes?
I'm gonna look for someone in a coat.
A
Anyone
coat.
in a coat, a long jacket that covers their body pretty well, and I'll. If I find someone, I'll just strike up a conversation with them.
Yeah, you find someone. You find. Let me see who you find. You find. Oh, that's good. You find a lady named. She is walking around looking at people, has no drink in her hand.
Excellent.
Has a nice
Walk
long
up.
coat, black.
Excellent. I'll walk up to her and say, "Oh, hello. Nice to meet you. My name's Erwin."
And it's very nice to meet you. I'm Adeline.
Adeline.
That is
It's
not
a
an
pleasure to
accent
meet
from
you.
Appalachia. Where are you from?
I'm from the city, in fact. I've just arrived recently, and
Sonora?
I'm doing. No.
That's the
New
nearest
York
what
City.
they would call a city. It's like
Yes, of course.
30,000 people.
Yeah, but people in New York would always say the city. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
Uh,
the city.
Yes, and
Well-
I'm here doing research, and I couldn't help but notice your fine coat.
Well, it was supplied to me by work. And what about you? Are you looking to? They sell coats in the town if you're cold.
Oh, really? Do you know where I can buy one?
Yeah, the general store I'm sure would have a coat.
Do you think they're open now?
Nope. Probably.
Excellent.
You can
Which
stand
way
by
was
the-
that?
And she points a few businesses over. That's a general store right there.
Okay, I'll
Right
walk
next to
that
that's a
way.
5 and 9.
Oh, I guess I'll say, Adeline, it was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for your time.
Are you okay? I mean, you stand by the fire, you'll get warm. If you need a place to stay, I'm the pastor of the church down the street. You could.
Oh,
We have rooms that are available for those that are unhoused.
I am on my last dollar, if I'm being honest with you, and I'm not sure how much longer I'll be able to afford the hotel, but I was hoping to stay in town for some time.
May I see your hands?
He slowly raises them.
And she takes your hands in hers.
He has
and
his book
looks
in
at
his
both
hand, though,
sides.
one hand.
Oh. Well, I am sorry to say that your stay will be uncomfortable because you have to work for your room. And I don't mean work like writing a paper or nothing. I mean work like gathering wood and getting the fires going and keeping them going and painting, cleaning the tombstones, making sure that people can find them even in the snow.
Cleaning tombstones.
Pardon me?
Cleaning tombstones?
Well, yes, there's a graveyard next to the church. Both our church and the Methodist church have got tombstones.
I may take you up on that then.
You're interested in the dead?
Yes. Forgive me. My research is in languages, you see, and tombstones have a lot to do with language, so perhaps I could learn something.
Yes, there is a lot. Because there's history on them.
Yeah. Yes. You must know a lot of the history of this place, actually, being a religious figure here.
I do, and I'm most excited that in 1 week and 1 day I will see all of them in church.
What do you
in
think
2
about
weeks and 1 day they will not smell like they've been drinking all week.
What do you think of this? He says, pointing to his mask, and that he asks, pointing to the effigy.
Well, I think that that is symbolism that should not be part of festivities, but I can't tell
Creepy,
people what
right?
to do. I can only inform them that the devil works through things like that. Idolatry and idols are not appropriate for any time.
And he's trying to lean into her ideology and says, I couldn't agree more, Adeline. It's terrifying, honestly.
The best and worst thing about that thing is that it will be on fire in a while.
Yes, I can't wait to see it. Maybe I'll see you at the fire.
Yes, of course. If you need do you need a coat right now? I could lend you my coat.
Oh, yes, if you would. That would save me from
You can find me
purchasing
over
one
by
for
the
the moment.
fires while I'll be eating tonight because I am hungry and I do not drink. So
Then,
And
yes,
she
I
takes
will
her
bring it
coat
to you
off.
tonight. And he grabs her coat and he puts it on. He tries to wrap it. Does it cover his body pretty well?
yeah, she's not a small person. She's big enough.
Thank you very much, Adeline. It was
Of
a pleasure
course.
to meet you.
That coat did not come from me. It came from the Lord.
He smiles.
I'll see you
Turns
later.
and starts walking back.
And she heads over to the fire where they're cooking. Starts asking,
He's-
they get some food.
And he's going to be on the lookout for these Cornwall professors. He's going to try to find them. Just walk around.
Make me a perception check. Let me see if you can even recognize them.
What's that? Sorry.
Let me have a perception check. Let me see if you can even
Oh, yeah.
recognize them with all
Perfect.
these masks and whatnot.
Okay. I'll put a level of effort into it, too.
Okay.
Oh, 17.
You see there's some people walking in towards the bar, and not going into the bar, but standing by the outside. There is a woman walking away, and you can see her hair is cut short in the back. And she's walking with another gentleman. She's taller than him. And they stop by the music, and they turn, and they seem to be just watching. Not dancing, they have drinks in their hands, but they're imbibing slowly. And they're talking to each other, leaning against a wall.
I'll approach them.
Okay. Hello?
And then I'll say, he modulates his voice a little bit to try to change it, and he says, "Oh, hey, trying to imitate Appalachian accent. He's like, what brings you to town?"
We are visiting for celebration of course, for John Barleycorn effigy. I cannot wait to see that on fire. And then after that, we are on our way to probably Pittsburgh. We are just kind of wandering the country.
Just passing through, huh? There was another city man coming through town here too. Do you happen to know him?
Another city man coming to town? No, I don't know who that. I'm not from the town, so I don't really know who is the city folk and not the city folk.
Oh. Right.
Are you city folk? You look like you have a bow tie. That tells me you're kind of city folk.
He tightens his jacket. No, I'm from I'm from here. Thank you very much.
Are you serving at? Is there a fine dining establishment or something where bow ties are required?
No, I bought it from somebody traveling through town, much like yourselves.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Are you? How long have you been in town? Are you enjoying your time here?
I've been here about 3 months, and yeah, it's a quaint town. I think I'll stay for some time.
I can't place the accent. Where are you from?
I'm from let's see, we'll say something urban, but what's like a major Appalachian? What's the city that's near here?
Well, along the train line, there'd be Pennsylvania and Boston, go up north.
Okay,
and
yeah, we'll say I'm from Philadelphia.
South Atlanta, Philadelphia. Oh, and I don't think I met anyone from Philadelphia yet. Have you? And the other one's like, no, I have not. Can I get a language check from you?
Yeah, of course. And I'm trained in that, and I'll put effort into that as well.
Okay.
Oh dear, didn't help. 2.
Oh no.
Okay. All right. And they continue on. Well, as someone from a great city like Philadelphia, what brings you to a small town like this? And how do you find a small town like this? Did you accident upon it?
Well, I did, in fact. I've just been riding the train line. My father, you see, he's thinking of investing in the mines business, and he sent me to scope out some of the local ones and see what there is to invest in.
Yeah, the Baltimore and Ohio, it goes right through here very frequently, so I can understand why you would find it. Did you get off thinking it was somewhere else and then ended up here by accident and the train left? I can't imagine anybody actually coming here for a good reason. No, I think it's funny. So you're looking to invest in the mines? Did you know that
Yes,
Ms. Love,
yes.
I think, is somewhere around here? Someone was talking about her.
Yeah,
She's
Miss
one of
Love.
the owners, apparently.
Okay. I'll find her.
I don't
Thank
know
you very
her,
much.
but
But what
everyone's
are
been
you
talking
doing
about
here?
her.
Enough about me. Let's talk about you.
Oh, we arrived from Cornwall a couple of days ago, and
Yeah.
you know, on a sabbatical, kind of just researching some stuff of the land. You know, make me a language check.
Okay. This one will be raw. 18 and trained.
It dawns on you that they say they're from Cornwall, but you actually think that their accent is not a natural born accent, but good.
They're faking it. Well, you don't sound like you're from Cornwall. It's very close, but it's something off. Is it a dialect?
I'm not sure why you would think we don't sound like we're from our home. You don't sound like you're from Philadelphia, so I'm starting to wonder. Maybe you're a Bostonian or something.
Maybe. Did I park my car at the corner? No, I'm not from Boston. Well, it was a pleasure speaking to you. Whatever you're looking for, I hope you find it.
I think we will. It's a small town. It's got some beautiful. It's got some beauty to it that was unexpected.
Yeah. Just be careful. Sometimes these small towns hold dangers that one doesn't expect.
I've heard about bears and what do they call them?
Yes.
Panthers? No, painters. Painters.
Bears,
There
painters,
are wolves apparently occasionally found out here,
wolves.
but
and other things, scarier things. Just look after yourself.
I was told, can you tell me if this is true, that if you hear someone call your name when you're walking down the road at night, that they ain't calling your name? Is that true, or is there something to that?
I'm sure it is true. Be careful at night.
I will. Thank you. Have a good night. There's a woman over there eyeballing you right now. I think you ought to turn around and maybe deal with whatever is happening there.
He slowly turns his head and
Miss
turns
Margaret's
and walks
across
towards
the
them.
dance area, and she starts wiggling through the crowd. Tegan, what are you and Ms. Love doing? And what are you, Walter, when you were, actually, let me jump to Walter real quick. Walter, you see TJ Booker come through after a while, just sort of walking and wandering, and he finds you. What are you doing sitting on the wall?
You know crowds ain't my thing. I'm just people watching.
I understand. You know, it ain't no sin to dance with any pretty folk, you know.
Yeah.
And I know you can dance. I have seen you dance.
I know you've seen me dance plenty, but yeah, I think them times have done past by this point.
Come with me.
Where are we going?
I want to introduce you to the band real quick, but also we need to get some food in you, because I do not see any food in your hands and I don't smell it on your breath. Let's get some food in you before this liquor takes us all down.
Yeah, all right. Who'd you end up getting in town anyway?
The band?
Yeah.
I brought them in from Sedora. They're the Sedora 4, and there are 7 of them. I don't know how they got the 4 to their name, but whatever. I mean,
I guess not everybody learned their arithmetic.
maybe
anyway.
they started with 4 and they added 3. Maybe they added 8 and they dropped down to I don't know.
All I know is they're loud as hell.
They are loud as heck. That is true. And you get out there, and he introduces you to the band, and they say hello while they're in a break for a moment. And then he goes, oh, I also want to introduce you here to U Biddle. And you know who U Biddle is. She's a commissioner. She's 106 years old and the oldest woman in town. Can you do something about Walt here? He is not dancing, and has not danced in quite a while, and he needs to learn how to cut a rug again like no one else.
Come on, TJ.
I'm sorry, I cannot have you stand on my wall and taking up drinking space. And she takes your hand, and she's like, of course. Mr. Gwinnen, I know, I'm old, but my feet do still work. Band, can you please get your music going? Would you not get breaks anymore tonight? And you hear the music start, and as that's happening, you see wiggle past you Miss Margaret, who arrives right in front of Mr. Hayes. The music has started. I have had a little food, and I'm embarrassed to say someone who is a sophisticate like yourself needs to cut loose a little here and there. Are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Let's do
Tegan
this.
slides in to hand him me, be like, and shoot this.
And,
Slides back out.
and
He does.
and the two of you, Tegan and Jennifer, she goes, hold on one second. Children, can one of you hold our drinks? We have got to do a little dancing. I do not want to see a drop missing from this, okay? And she hands the drinks to the kids, who smile really big. Sure, Miss Love, we'll hold these drinks for you, and we will not be drinking all your drink.
I'm gonna shoot like 1.5, and as I put the half that's still full down, I'm gonna lean in and be like, "You can take that one." Take her out.
And they turn their backs to the crowd with the drink. with the, I will assume you know how to dance.
Do indeed.
Wonderful, because I love to dance, and I could dance until the moonlight goes down and the sun comes up.
Well, then we should show this professor folk how it's done.
And she looks over. Yeah, he's a little lost at the moment. And oh my gosh, Walt is dancing. I ain't seen him dance in quite a while.
Oh, that's probably all TJ's doing.
That's so nice. So nice to see him, get back out there a little bit. Even just a step. And the music, it starts up, the fiddle comes in hard, the banjo's cranking, but then that one string bass just boom, boom, just gives a strong rhythm that your feet just cannot resist. And dancing goes on, and it goes on, and drinks are brought. You drink until very late. You can see the moon starting to go down, the drinking, the dancing, the food. Maybe not the food, I don't know. And as you're dancing late into the evening, you notice that the two people that you were talking to, Professor, they are still around there. They're not in the same place, but you realize they're kind of walking around, looking at people, getting eyes on people. And the most important thing is a lot of masks are starting to come down and come off. And when they do, you can tell, like someone takes a mask off and they immediately look, and with your ability to understand them, they are studying people. They're not looking, it's not passing, they're looking non-passively. And the drinking's hard. Oh my gosh. The liquor here is, and it does not take long before, yes, you notice they're looking, but you're also seeing them as a blur. And
I go up to Walter at one point. I say, "Hey, Walter, those guys, they're looking for you. Watch out." Way too loud. Way louder than I even should say it, probably.
At this point, you're dancing with Carolyn Crandall. She is the GM of the Sawmill, as you know. Who is looking for you?
Oh, she's dancing with me?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
You've been passed off from person to person as the drinks came and the dancing came.
that damn Mrs. Biddle.
Oh yeah, she danced for quite a while, but eventually her age did set in, and
She had better dance moves than me. That's for damn
She's
sure.
106.
the only ones
Nice.
that never seemed to slow up were, of course, Tegan and Jennifer.
I'm sorry. What did who? Or it was
Carolyn Crandall.
Crandall.
She is the GM of the sawmill.
Mm-hmm. And she asked me who was looking for me.
She said when she heard Erwin say that, she's like, "Who's looking for you? Everyone knows you. You don't need to be looked for."
How in my spirits am I?
You're pretty spirited, but you're also the only one of the group that drinks enough that things are not blurry at the moment.
Okay.
You can see the other ones dancing and stuff, but their dancing has become a little wobblier and a little less accurate to the beat and whatnot.
I'd kind of brush off the comment. I think he's in it. I think he's in his spirits. That second cask, and I think he's gotten in it 2 or 3 or 4 or more times.
I think I ate the giant rat.
I told you not to eat the boomers, City.
And you're not cold. The dancing's kept you warm.
But even as I brush off that comment, I actually do take note of what Professor Irwin said. I'm kind of keeping an eye out for these city folk there.
Yeah, you don't see them anymore. They seem to have disappeared into the woodwork of all the people that are still. I mean, there's still a throng of people around. It is not like the crowd is dispersed. Mm-hmm. Some of them are just leaning against the walls and the alleys and whatnot, but they're still all around. And finally, after a while, she goes, "You know what? I am plumb tired. I don't think I can take another step. I am so sorry, Mr. Gwennon, that I cannot keep up with you with this evening, but thank you for dancing with me, and I will definitely pass my graciousness to you who put us together." She must have known. Would you like to eat something? And you remember, this is when it dawns on you. You remember that she was the one that cut a bit of sapling off the bleeding tree, and that was who? Why would you do that? That is not a tree to be cutting a piece off.
Yeah, I could use a bit of a snack. I'm getting a bit peckish. But damn near dancing my tuchus off out there. I had a question for you anyway, and I'll walk with her to go get some of the lukewarm food. I'm sure is probably getting cold at this point.
Yeah. She grabs a skewer of boomer meat, gives one to you, one to her.
Yeah, thanks. What have you and your folk been doing down yonder at that strange tree?
Well, I don't know what you mean by that. We don't go near the bleeding tree. That is not there's something not right about that tree. I would not want to be near that thing.
Well, then why did I hear something about you going off and taking some snippings?
Who told you that? I did no such thing. And you know she did because you saw it.
Well, I find things out here and there.
Well, somebody is starting rumors that they ought not. That is a sin that they will be paying for when they find their way to. And she points down.
And also keep in mind the tree ain't that far from my property.
Yeah, I know.
I hear things when they're close to my land.
Maybe they have some mistaken for someone else. You never know. Maybe there's some there's some old granny magic people around here. You know, you never know if someone's doing something suspicious. But it weren't me.
Well, since we're on the topic of weird things happening around town, what do you think about them tremors?
I think that maybe us following the Lord's words and not drinking all the time, maybe the Lord will stop being angry and it'll stop.
Do I know? Oh, I'm sorry, I forget her name again.
Carolyn.
Do I know Carolyn as a particularly lordly lady?
No, you know her as not a lordly lady.
Yeah. How is church these days?
And she looks over your shoulder. Oh, hold on. Oh, I'm being called by a friend of mine. I'm sorry. Enjoy your boomer, and she takes a bite. Thank you for the dancing. My feet will be are happy now, but will be paying me for it tomorrow or in the morning. It's not even that far till tomorrow.
All right. Well, you be careful now.
And she heads away. Tegan, you and Jennifer have been dancing all night. And she goes, may I ask you something, Tegan?
Yeah, go ahead.
How come I have never had you come and fix anything in my house? Have you ever been to a mansion?
I have not.
And you have learned all these skills without anyone with money giving you the affordability of stuff that you need.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had the brain to like take something apart, like see what makes it tick, and then put back together.
I appreciate excellent dancing, I gotta say, but I appreciate more people who can save me money and fixing stuff and taking care of properties. Would you be? No, I don't want you. I don't want to be in business with you. I'm sorry I went down that road. I like you too much for that.
Well, I mean, we've kind of already in business. Nick stopped by this morning.
What?
Yeah, he asked me to come stop by the mine once a month and
Well, that son of a
deal with
bitch,
the
I
cart.
told him to take care of that problem. I guess
He
that's his
doesn't
way
know
of
how to-
taking care of it.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to do it. I built it.
Well, I have to apologize for him terminating you. I have to back up my manager, but oh my gosh, what a foolish act that was.
Sorry, the green cup caused you to disappear from the screen for a moment.
You know, one of the other things that I have noticed is that you have always got a smile on your face.
Well, yeah, there's plenty of things to smile about right now.
And she licks her thumb, and you always got a little dirt, and she uses it to kind of rub a little dirt off your cheek. And it feels flirtatious. Like, she's flirty, but that's flirtatious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I overstep my bounds?
No, you're totally fine. I think Tegan doesn't know how to deal with this, so she's gonna default to just being like, she said she needs something fixed, so I'm gonna focus on that. But like, don't worry if there's anything you need fixing or you're wondering if it could be improved. I'm more than happy to stop by and take a look.
And she whispers, I do need some things fixed.
Well, I am the best one around here for that.
And she realizes you're not understanding the subtleties
No,
of her conversation.
I'm like bright red, so I definitely am.
Oh, so she is right. So you are right.
Yeah.
Would you like to drive my automobile? Have you ever driven one?
I have never driven an automobile before, but I am willing to take lessons.
Would you? I've been drinking.
Mm-hmm.
You've been drinking, but I think less than I have.
Yeah.
Would you like to come up to the Love Mansion? Just you and I. We could be together.
Every time you say that, I want to say Love Shack.
I know. That's why I named it that. It was so good. I couldn't not.
Every time. Just have music playing in the background.
And this is definitely the most forward you have ever heard anyone talk to you. By far.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody ever been even close.
Man, I like this prohibition.
Maybe it's a money thing. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, we can definitely go back. Do you need to let your sister know? Because didn't she ride down with you?
No, I do not need to let her know. She can find her way home or not home if she wants. She
Alright.
sometimes stays in town. No, we're not that close as sisters. And
Alright then.
she walks over to the car and she opens the door for you. For the driving door.
Oh gosh. Okay. Good thing I'm trained in understanding and identifying objects.
You do not have driving, I'm going to assume.
No.
Okay. This should
I
be
did
fun.
not expect to be driving an automobile, miss.
And she closed the door for you and she goes around the other side and she's smiling and she's looking at you with like bright eyes. And she gets in and she goes, all right, well, here's what you do. And she kind of walks you through it. You know what? You drive those cars all through the mine. You probably know how to do this. I don't want to explain the whole thing to you. You probably get the idea, don't you? You've driven probably 100 times.
I mean, the carts,
Something.
yes.
Well, what's the difference? They got wheels. We ain't got no track, but it can't be that different, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got the gears, gas, brake. I think we can make it work.
All right. Children, get out of the way.
Yeah, just like laying on the horn to make sure.
Auga, auga.
And Walt, you and Erwin, you see Tegan get in Miss Love's automobile. They look like they're laughing and having fun. Tegan's face is red like a strawberry.
That is not a good idea.
Taking
You
about
should
as red
stop
as the
her.
side of a barn.
And Miss Margaret comes back with a drink. Erwin, you are quite a dancer, but I need to sit down for a few minutes if you don't mind. Maybe we could just. Would you like something to eat other than the boomers? I think there's some pork over there. Probably
Sure.
crabs.
I'd love to.
All right. And you find yourself, Walt, sort of standing in the middle of the crowd for the first time, someone not occupying your space. Just you. There are people all around you, but it's still a free space in front for the first time tonight.
I take a deep breath and finally just. Whew, I'm getting too old for this. Bear in mind, Walt is like in his 50s.
Yeah, I know.
He kind of, or I kind of take a peek around. What's the crowd looking like? Is it still pretty busy?
It's busy, but it's starting to thin out a little bit as people stumble into alleys or head to the inn or the hotel. Some people are just asleep on the ground in a couple places. And the kids, they're getting to stay up all night, it seems, so they're having a blast. And they look like they're drunk.
Oh, boy.
And you see, as a matter of fact, a bunch of the kids around some glasses that are partially empty that look like they have some of your second batch mead, and that cannot be good.
But I just shake my head to myself. Man, I remember those days. They're going to feel like, well, they are not going to feel very well here in a little bit.
And the automobile lights go on. Do the automobile lights go on?
I assume if Tegan doesn't know how to turn them on, she's gonna be like, Miss Love, I think we might need some lights at this point.
Oh, and she goes and pulls this little thing out and the lights go on. Of course. All right, and she shows you how to start the car, and then she kind of leans her head on the back of the seat. All right, you know where it is, right? It's right up the hill, turn left, and get to the top.
Yeah, everybody knows where it is. I'm just gonna beep beep.
Pretty.
Really make sure people are out the way.
And then, can I get an attempt at driving roll.
Yes. Does it help that I know how it works?
Yeah, so I'm going to give you I'm going to let you try and see if you understand it with your skills related to tinkering and whatnot. It will not be.
I have understanding, crafting, and identifying objects are all separate skills.
It's not crafting. I'd say the closest one is actually nothing. So let's
Not even understanding?
Well, it's not understanding this kind of stuff. It's just understanding. Oh yeah, I'll let you have an understanding roll. Yeah.
Because I was like, otherwise,
Yeah,
this
you'll
is not
understand
gonna, this is not going to happen. Ooh, I really hope that helps because that was a 14.
All right. So the car lurches forward, and you know you need to make a big turn. So you start turning, and when you do, her head slides onto your shoulder, and it sort of sticks there while you make a big turn. Can I get I think this would be a speed or an intellect roll. There's reaction time. I'm gonna make it though an intellect roll to figure out the driving of this. And if anything goes wrong, that'll be a speed roll.
All right. I'm gonna add an edge or effort to it because
All right.
I can because intellect is the one I can do it in. So I'm gonna do that.
And you hear someone go, wait, we're gonna light the effigy.
I'm totally fine with not being in the effigy.
All right.
That's gonna be a 13.
All right, so 13. You make the turn. You drive through one of the charcoal pits where there were things being cooked and run over some of the food, knock over the bars that are holding up the meat, and it falls over. There's nobody there at that one though, because there's nothing left there to eat. And you see sparks and stuff, like the embers float up past the car on the side, and you're like, I need to turn more. You're turning and going straight and turning. It is a very difficult thing to do. This is not like the mine cars. This car is really long. This automobile has got length that the mine cars do not. And mine cars, they got rails.
Mm-hmm.
This don't got that kind of thing. And you turn back and one person like jumps out of the way. Oh my gosh, you realize you almost ran over someone who was sleeping next to a tree. You didn't hit the tree. But now you're coming up to the turn that you have to make to go up to the hill. And there are a few homes here and at the corners and some businesses.
That sounds like a bad idea for them, Brett.
Can I get a speed roll from you? And you're not even going fast, and it feels like things move quick.
Fast. Oh gosh, I don't have anything to help with speed either.
That's good.
Oh, 18 though. That's right.
You have an 18. That'll do it. You make this turn, and when you do it, of course, you turn, overcompensate, recompensate to try and get it back. And everybody's seeing his car kind of wobbling down the street back and forth, meandering down the road. Literally meandering, like the real use of the word. We'll get back to you in a moment. And Walt, you are finding yourself some peace, and someone comes over. All right, let's get this thing lit up. It is time before it gets light. We need to make sure this thing, John Barleycorn must die. We got to have the funeral. we all good?
I guess while I still have a moment to myself, I always have a couple of bees on me, whether I like it or not. Do I notice anything about their behavior? For better, for worse, indifferent?
I'll give you a roll with your Masters of the Swarm.
Okay. How would you like me to roll that?
It'd be intellect. It'd be an intellect based one. So roll me a d20, and you are. It's generally automatic, ain't it? Yeah, creatures with charge. It's an action to initiate. Oh, you don't have to actually roll it. You can just initiate it. So there is an unusual. You know when bees recognize bees of their own kind? Whatever those actions
Accepting
are.
way or in a competitive way?
In an accepting way, like they're not of their own kind, but of their own hive even. It seems to be acting a little like that, even though the hive ain't here. And that's
Are they boozed
unusual.
up?
What?
Are they boozed up?
Maybe. I mean, they may have drank off the edge of one of the mead glasses. Who knows? Bees will drink things that they ought not.
So they seem to be in good spirits. I take it?
Yes.
Positive thing.
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to also take a quick look around and see if I can spot them city slickers one more time.
All right, make me an intellect roll or a perception roll.
That would be a 7.
You don't see them.
Okay.
They probably went back to the hotel. It's so late.
And that is trained as well. I don't know if that helps or not.
Nope. They're not there.
Yeah. Who's going to start? Who's leading the charge toward lighting the effigy?
You see that the person coming over is Mamie Calkinen. She is the mayor, and Nota Willix. She is the sheriff, and she is plastered. Like, I mean, everyone knows she's a useless sheriff anyway, but you didn't expect her to get plastered tonight. But maybe the last week, taking it in. And following up is Pastor Otis from the Methodist Church. And they're coming over, and he goes, "Can I say something before all this starts? Mamie, I just got a few words." And Mamie looks at him, sort of exasperated. "All right, say your piece. Get it over with. Please don't make us feel too bad about the fun we're having. I promise that it will not make anyone who's not doing anything wrong feel bad." And she goes, "All right, listen up. Pastor Otis wants to say a few things. Please get some of the fuel on that hay. We got to have this thing light up like it's a firework display." And Pastor Otis comes over and says, hello, folks. I'm really glad to see all of you. I'm not happy to see all of you the way I'm seeing all of you, but I do want to say a word or two about what's going on here. John Barleycorn appeals to the weaknesses of human vice and our failure, exhaustion, and undisciplined approach to life. He's the easy road, covered in gravel, and he deceives you every time. There's no strength for your body in him. He does not elevate your spirit, even with his spirits. Life is difficult enough without the unfairness he delivers upon the families and the children that come under his thumb. So please, I'm begging you, you should not be idolizing these things related to the earth and to spirits of old. John Barleycorn does not need to die. This is not a funeral. And then the Dixie band starts playing a funeral dirge as best they can. And Otis looks back at them, not happy, like eyes that are daggers, and they play louder. And Otis understands and gets out of the way. All right, folks, let's get this thing going. Everybody get your drinks before we throw this down. And people come out of the bar, the tap room, and there are people bringing extra drinks for everybody so that everyone can have one. They bring one to you, Erwin, and
Margaret.
God, I was thinking Marjorie. Like, it's not Marjorie, it's Margaret. Thank you. And to you, Walt, you're all there. And everyone is like, they gather in a circle. People that had even fallen asleep in the sides of the alleys and stuff are starting to pop up again. All right, get your mass together. We're going to be throwing our mass in as part of this thing. It is time for us to enjoy the death of our favorite spirit and our guardian angel in these times. And Pastor Otis is just pissed off. You can see this is not right. But Adeline Rose, the Presbyterian preacher, she's like, let's get this over. That's fine. That's fine. She's a little bit more lenient and approving of gatherings and time together. Drinks up, and everyone puts their drinks up. Some of them have 2 drinks, and Mamie comes over with her lamp, takes off the hood, and slides the light over to the hay, and with the fuel on it, it goes up quick. And then suddenly the effigy is burning, and you've got yourself a bonfire, and people, all right, bottoms up. Everyone starts drinking, and they down whatever's in their drinks, and some of them were really big. All right, this is the last one for the night. Have a good night, everybody. That's TJ Booker's like, I will see you tomorrow. Make sure you're able to stand. And the drinks go down, and music plays, funeral music, and they're singing like to this funeral dirge, some song that, I don't know, maybe you know it, I don't know. And then the music starts to pick up again, and it becomes upbeat and dancing and fun, and you can tell this is going to go on till the sun breaks everything up. But there's a big fire. Tegan, you are driving, and suddenly there's a lot of light behind you. Like, and you know that the fire probably just went off in the back. Yeah, I'm straight ahead. Just go on up that hill.
Looks like we left just in time. Last call just happened.
And she goes, you are so cute. May I kiss your cheek?
Sure.
You're driving, of course.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's like, yeah, sure.
And she takes your face with her hands, like over your mouth and nose, part of your eye, and she kisses your cheek. I had to. You got the cutest cheeks. Oh, wait, watch the road. And she slides against the door, back the other way against the door. Oh, damn, that hurt. Sorry. Didn't mean to mess you up that bad. And she sits back up and slides a little closer. All right, straight up the hill. Quit wobbling so much. It ain't that hard.
A little harder when I ain't on tracks.
Can I get a speed roll from you as you head up the hill, and you need to have some kind of reaction to the gutters and
I don't know that my luck's gonna hold out. And it does not. That is a 8.
Oh, okay. So you're starting to go up the hill, and you feel the car kind of going up. The angle of it is not so perpendicular to the road no more. It kind of goes. Luckily, you weren't going very fast, but you slide into part of the ditch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
No.
All right. You want me to drive the rest? Maybe I can get us out of there.
I can get out of the car and get us out of the ditch if you want to drive the rest of the way. Oh yeah, this is easier than the mine stuff.
All right. And
Wait, I understand how to fix issues with machines.
Right.
I do not understand how to drive a car.
You actually do that pretty well. She gets into the driver's seat to make sure she puts it into reverse and all that, and you kind of pull back. Okay, very good. Do you want to drive the rest? And she slides out of the way.
I think it's better if you drive the rest of the way, and you can always offer me lessons later.
All right, I'll teach you later. Hopefully these ain't the only lessons tonight. And she starts the car. She just whispers that to
More
herself.
red,
Though.
like 2 more.
No, she whispers it hoping you didn't hear it. She was like, you could tell she didn't think you heard it.
Okay, but is it actual whispering or like drunk people whispering?
Oh yeah, drunk
we all
people
know
whispering.
that's not whispering.
Drunk people whispering. And then the car starts heading up the hill. And, it weaves a little bit, but definitely she knows how to drive. And you get up to the top and you're like, oh my God, I'm glad I was not driving here. Because there is a sharp left in the middle of trees and there's an embankment on the left that is like a bluff. Mm-hmm. That could be particularly dangerous.
That would have ended well.
And down at the end of the street, she pulls up to her house and there's a little overhang for her car. And she's halfway in it and she pulls up the roof to cover the front and latches it down because it was convertible. All right.
I'm going to hop out and run around to open the door for her.
Why, thank you. Oh my gosh, I drank a lot tonight. Come, let me show you around. And she shows you around the outside of the mansion. It overlooks the town, and the house, part of the house actually sticks out off the cliff face and has these big, like, struts that come underneath to hold up the platform out there. And it is designed in a way that is very unlike all the other homes around here. Everything else here is like a clapboard home or a log cabin or something. This one's different. It has angles that are, really big windows and big woods things. Because this is the kind of house making they do in like the rich parts of the country now. There's some architect, I forgot his name, that kind of is the one who designs this kind of stuff. He designed this home for us. When my mom and pa were alive. But come on in. You're gonna love this place. And you go in and there's a trophy case and there's animal heads on the walls and there's even a bowling pin made out of. It looks like it's a trophy. Have you ever done bowling? That's a game they do in some places.
It's got like a weirdly heavy ball with like holes in it.
Oh, it's so
right?
damn heavy. That ball is so heavy. But yeah, you throw it down a super slick strip of wood. I got one in the house if you'd like to bowl in the morning. I could show you.
I mean, we'll see what we get. Like, Tegan is just like flustered still.
And she grabs your cheeks and pinches them. Oh my God, they get so red, don't they?
Yep, I'm pretty sure we could get at least a couple more shades before they're done.
I got a reputation in town. I'm kind of a bad girl. I do bad things.
And one more shade of red.
Are you okay being here?
Yep, I would.
Because
if
I'm
I
thinking of bad things.
And the final shade of red.
And we will veil the continuation of what happens in that house and come to it again later. Back down at the fire. The fire's going on, and it takes a long time, but it dies down. Everyone starts heading home or going to sleep because the sun starts to rise. Miss Margaret, she's like, I have to head home. It was very nice to meet you, Professor Hayes. Are you a doctor? Do you go by Dr. Hayes?
I am a doctor, but the title's not necessary.
It is when I have to tell my mother that
Your mother's?
I met and danced with a doctor.
Yes, well, you could always just keep that between us.
All right.
But Margaret, it was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
You're a wonderful woman.
So, thank you.
And I'm sure an amazing teacher.
And you're a better dancer than you lead people to believe. I mean, once you get enough liquor in you. Without
Yes.
without it, you're a little. I just say
Liquor
stiff.
helps.
You're just a little stiff before. All right. Well.
Where can I find you, Margaret? Tomorrow.
Oh, I will be here tomorrow.
I'll look for
The
you.
whole town will be here again tomorrow. All week long, we are having a party.
And I'll
But
find you.
Tonight was the only funeral.
Yes. It went well.
Have a good night. I will see you tomorrow. Well, good morning. There's a place to get some good breakfast, and she points down the road. Right down there on the right, you will find it. They make some amazing food, and it's inexpensive.
You know me already.
I don't. I just know that. Why would you want to spend a lot of money on breakfast? Eggs,
Maybe I'll
pies,
see you there.
And she leans in and she kisses you on the cheek. Like a goodbye kiss.
Yeah. I smile and I give her like an arm around the shoulder kind of hug, and then start looking kind of like right away, almost looking for Adeline.
And she looks back at Walt. Have a good night, Mr. Gwennon.
It was good to see you, Miss Margaret.
And she heads home. What are you two doing now? You don't see those people you were talking about? People are starting to thin out and head home. The night is ending.
Walter, have you seen Adeline anywhere? I think that was her name. I have to return
Adeline
her
is
coat.
there. Adeline's not left yet.
Okay.
She's somewhere around.
Oh yeah, she's over yonder.
I need to return this to her, and I take off my coat, her coat, and I walk over and hand it to her.
Oh. Are you heading to the church with me, or are you going to stay in the hotel tonight? Or the rest of the day?
Well, I don't know if I'm in shape to work tomorrow, but I would appreciate a place to stay.
Whenever you are
I
ready,
paid for my room, so maybe one more night at the hotel wouldn't.
whenever you are ready, there will be a bed there. There will not be a private room, I'm sorry to say, but there will be a bed and a fireplace.
And I appreciate that. You're a kind soul, and good riddance to this one, huh? I say, pointing towards the effigy.
It's all in fun. They ain't worshiping it. I think that some people take that a little too far.
Yeah. Well, the other religious figure, is he from the same church as you? He seemed quite.
Oh no, he's the Methodist. I'm Presbyterian.
Oh.
There are two
Forgive
churches
me.
in this town, and you have now met the pastors of both.
You two get along?
Oh no, not at all. To be honest,
can see why.
and she leans in. He's a son of a bitch.
Yes. I was gonna say he was rather abrasive, but son of a bitch. That's another way to put it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna head back. I hope to see you here tomorrow. Maybe not with such a scent of alcohol on you. Maybe you'll drink less and less as the week goes on instead of more and more like everyone else is going to do. You know. But it was very nice meeting you, and welcome to Guilty Hole. Maybe one of these days I'll tell you why it's called it. It's a funny story.
I'd like that. Thank you.
And she
Right,
starts
turn
heading
around.
down the road, and some other people start following her. Probably people that are also staying there.
Mm.
And Walt, you see them leave, and as it thins out, there's only Erwin and Walt there towards the end, and people have anybody that's left. If they're dancing, they're just leaning on each other, and there's a sway going on at most. There are people sitting on the porches against the wood of the walls behind them. Some people are just asleep in the dirt.
Professor, you say you're staying at the hotel?
Yes, that's right.
You need help getting back?
I was gonna ask you the same. If you needed help getting back to your place.
Oh, I think I'll be quite fine, but you were quite the ladies' man tonight, and you were definitely in your clear, so just want to make sure you're getting home.
I'd appreciate that. And, I'm not usually that social, but your mead sure did help. Thank you.
Well, it certainly helps sometimes. There's a funny story about how I met my my wife that has to do with that second cast too.
I'd love to hear it someday.
I'll tell you some other time. Anyway, did you say you need help getting back to the hotel?
If you don't mind,
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
And as you're heading down to the hotel, you see that there is a bunch of mule-drawn carts pulling into town over the bridge. And on the side of one of them, it says, The Rise of Babel Christian Revival.
that's odd. Do you normally get carts? It's like in the middle of the night, right?
It's early morning.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
Walt,
Like the sun's up, or
You have actually seen them come to town before. They came to town a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago. They apparently periodically come to different places to gain people's get people back to God that are missing. But they are crazy. They do crazy stuff with snakes and speaking in tongues and weird stuff that like can be even uncomfortable.
Do I know how Adeline and Otis feel about, or rather their churches feel about the revival coming through? Or the last time that they came through, was there any public outcry?
Yeah, there was, especially because they sold stuff outside the tent. Like, they had things they were selling, and they sell snow cones to the children to take even the nickels they got and whatnot. But
Snow cones are just ungodly.
but other stuff also. And when they come to town, there's always discomfort with the other churches. They do not like it.
Tell you what, Erwin, you're looking for some people to study. Those might be some damn near good examples of them.
are they performers?
There's some strange folk. They take Adeline and Otis, the folks from the church, and turn them on their head. They do some wild things.
And the last cart goes by, and you see that in it there is some kind of animal you have never seen. It looks like a painter, but it is orange and black striped with white belly, and it is massive. And it is in a cart that has got bars wrapping around it. And the thing is just laying there sleeping, but it could definitely, you think it could maybe take down a bear. It's so big.
You ever seen one of them cats before?
You know what it is.
It's a tiger, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
What the hell
Sometimes.
is that thing?
It's called a tiger. It's not native to the to anything around here. It's actually from across the sea.
Is that? Wouldn't they have one of them in the? Whoa, one of them. What are they
The
called?
zoo?
Zoo or a?
That's
or
right.
A circus?
That's the only place I've seen them is the zoo, in fact, and I'm surprised they have one. To be honest, they're quite ferocious.
That's not that ain't right. That ain't normal for church revival.
Performers. I knew it.
And you get to the hotel. He's staying in the least expensive place in town, in the least expensive room in that establishment. It is a small room, but it has a comfortable bed. It's got a little water basin, so you can have a little water. It has a what's it called? I forgot what it's called. A piss pot.
Oh yeah.
Under the bed, and there is warmth in here. They have a big fireplace in the lobby, and they seem to move the warmth across the hotel in some way. Wouldn't call it warm, just there is some warmth. It ain't as cold in here as it is outside. Big comforters and blankets, though. That's the benefit.
Erwin's exhausted, so he'll say, Walter, thank you so much for everything today.
not a problem at all.
I'll look you up tomorrow if you're around.
I'll be around. I'm sure you'll see me. But if you ever need anything, you let me know, okay?
Thanks, and um, same to you.
Much appreciated.
And you head out. I assume you're going home.
Oh yeah, yep.
Okay.
While I'm near the church revival, or rather, did you say the church revival was coming near the hotel?
It was coming. It looks like it's coming into town.
Okay.
Like it's going to set soon.
Just out of curiosity, do I notice anything different now about the behavior of the bees around me, or are they just kind of still doing their thing?
They're still doing their thing.
Okay. I guess without anything prickling me, I start heading back home, taking note of anybody who may need picking up off the ground or sent on their way, or maybe some child in his spirits.
And there are a few that definitely need a little bit of help getting up and finding their way and stuff. And by the time you're done, you realize the bees have left. Maybe they went home to the hive.
Mm-hmm.
And you start on the road. Tired, probably hungry. Definitely gonna have a hangover. But it's a meat hangover, so it's a natural one, like the kind you should be having. And you get to the house, and the bees arrive. That the ones who are missing that left, they come and they land back on you, but you realize they came from behind you, not from ahead of you.
So like they caught up to me?
Yes.
Peculiar.
Yeah.
What? I whether they answer me or not.
Yeah. They don't really answer you so much.
Yeah.
You get feelings about them.
Right. I do say out loud to them, "Where you ladies been at?"
And then they head over to the hive.
I guess on my way into the house, I just take a quick peek out at the hive. Since there is a little bit of sunlight, I guess I can take a quick peek at them, make sure that they're doing all right. Then
make a perception check.
This time I'm gonna put some effort into it.
All right.
If that's a thing.
It is.
And yeah, okay. That is a 16 on the dice. So when I put effort into it, do I add something to that?
Effort reduces the cost, or edge reduces the cost, so it'll increase your roll by 3.
Okay, so 16 plus 3 is 19 then.
So when you roll it, you think out by the wood line that there's maybe an animal was kind of looking in on the property, and then a deer comes running across.
Oh, okay. So nothing particularly out of the ordinary.
No, you just noticed the deer in the woods before it came out.
Okay. Yeah.
But it didn't feel right. I mean, you saw the deer, but it just didn't feel right.
The deer didn't feel right?
It just didn't feel right. Like, why was something about it felt wrong? Like, why did it run? Why was it running? Deer don't normally go running through the property in the middle of winter.
I think myself, something must have spooked it. So I hesitate going back inside, and I'm keeping a look out to where it came from.
Yeah, there's a thin wood line out there on the edge of the property that animals come in and out of all the time.
Mm-hmm. And I guess I'd like to see if I see anything that way. And I am trained in finding or noticing small details.
From this distance, you would not be able to see anything. You're pretty far from it.
I'm gonna kind of slowly walk my way that direction, kind of peering as I can.
When you get out there, you notice for the first time that there are some footprints in the snow. And there's no snow in the grass in the dirt out there
Mm-hmm.
that were in the wood line itself.
So from my property into the wood line.
Nope. Across the wood line to the edge of your property, but not into. Not into beyond the wood line, which is part of your property.
Mm-hmm. Are they like a boot, or I guess can I discern if it was a particularly like I don't know what you want to call it. If it was a boot or a
your
heel.
ability to notice details would allow you to recognize the pattern of the shoe if you needed to later.
Okay. Does it look like a boot that should be walking around in the woods?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there are woodsmen out here and trappers and whatnot that still come across. Might have been something like that. But it makes you think that's probably what spooked the deer.
Mm-hmm. I think I want to follow the footprints for a few paces.
All right. And you can follow it for a little bit. They get lighter as they hit rockier areas and stuff like that, but they look like they're heading, like they came in from town and headed back to town. But they get lost all over the place in rock and there's two of them.
Oh, so I can tell it was two
Yes.
people?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna take out my notebook and note that down and note where they came from in the property, where they went to, and
All right.
I'm gonna start walking back toward the porch, and gonna take one more quick look about the property, just because I feel like I'm a little on edge
Yeah.
before walking in.
You don't see anything else, but you probably don't sleep. Or at least not for quite a while until there's a lot of sunlight.
Yeah. With that, I'll go ahead and walk back inside, and I'll as I'm walking inside, I kind of motion with my head just to the gravestones as kind of just a all right, good night, kind of good morning type thing, and then I'll walk into the house.
Nice. And Tegan, you wake up in an unrecognizable place, looking at a ceiling that is spinning above you, but it's warm. There's a fireplace. Oh my God, I'm in the Love's Mansion.
If I don't move.
And you smell bacon being cooked. And I think this is a good place to break. All right. Well, this is the first night of our story. I am super excited about it. We're going to expand the cast a little bit by next week. I hope all of you had a good time. We will see you next Tuesday. Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy the outro video because it is cool too. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Burning rock, crackle smoke out of the mountain's mouth, hollowed by a cut, by a slash, by a fiery blow. Running through the valley like it's running through my veins, while red-eyed crows keep watch underneath the blood-red moon. My slunch white soul cries out to rise up against the tide of dusty songs cut hard from the dark mountain stone. Cut hard from the dark mountain stone. Cut hard from the dark mountain.